Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be ranking every single terrifying tower from worst to best. So as you can see right here, I've beaten every single terrifying tower, all 7 of them. I thought that was 6, okay, never mind. I'm apparently stupid, but yeah, I beat all 7 of them, and yeah, so I'm very qualified to rank them as usual. Yeah, I know that I said that we'll be doing the intense ranking soon, but honestly, that's a big video. It's going to be probably even longer than the REM one, and I don't really feel like making that right now. I will make it in the future though. Obviously, this is completely biased, by the way. Okay, I know there's gonna be hate opinions about how my take is objectively wrong or something like that. Like, everyone has like a little bit of bias based on their experience. For me though, that's more than usual, but still. And yeah, let's go. At the very last place we have Time. This tower is just fins to the nation. I actually hate it so much. It's extremely unbalanced and it's just like terrible gameplay throughout. The balancing is literally non-existent. 2 of these wraps are like, I think the floor 4 one is like peak cadder to horrific even. Because I literally had to skip it because I hated it so much. I know that technically means I didn't do the tower legit, but and the wrap that people usually do skip, floor 6 one. I didn't skip it, but yeah, it is still a very big difficulty spike. Floor 8 to 10, especially 9 and 10, are just really easy. I ended up doing them first try, and they're like low extreme gameplay. There's literally no single terrifying jumps throughout the whole floor. But then you have these like random cadder wraps throughout, such as the ones I just mentioned. Like, it's just terribly balanced. And yeah, the creator of this, Fedoric, which by the way, how do you make tots and then make this? But whatever, that's besides the point. The creator of this, Fedoric, right? I swear, you know, on Roblox Studio where you like select your stud, like how much you want to move, I swear he had on 0 the whole time. Because this entire tower is misaligned besides the frame. Like, the shapes of the studs are just randomized. And yeah, I guess you can say the wedge squeezing gameplay where you spam your spacebar's creative. Which, you know what, fine, it probably is. No other tower have probably done that. But the reason no other tower's probably done that is because it's not good game design. So I think this tower's like a 0 out of 10. It's not my least favorite in the game, but yeah, it's probably like bottom 10. Next up, we have probably the first controversial take, YEYEYEYEYEYEYE. YEYEYEYEYEYE is one of those towers that you either hate or you really like, and I hate it really, like, a lot. Now, the people that like this tower, the people that like janky gameplay, I think janky gameplay is the worst gameplay in jtoh. Okay, maybe not the worst. It's like tied with ice gameplay. Actually, I think ice is a bit worse. Ah! What is that? Yeah, it's one of the worst gameplay in jtoh, and yeah, it's the same reason why TWK is one of my least favorite extremes, and this is one of my least favorite terrifyings. I find the tower to be extremely unfun, and yeah, while the design is decent, I don't think it's even that good. It just goes from green to purple, like, ooh. Oh yeah, and I think floor 10's like cadder. Okay, I know if people say it's the easiest floor, even like raw difficulty wise. Actually, okay, I mean, if you say it's easier than floor 5, you're just bugging. But besides floor 5, a lot of people say it's like one of the easier floors. I don't know, I found it to be really difficult, and I ended up loop failing it for like half an hour. I generally think if they made floor 10 like insta-kill, doesn't matter where you fall, the tower would be like peak terrifying to cadder because, oh my god, that floor is so hard. And yeah, I just find this tower extremely unfun. It has like these like wedge wraps, and it's all like, it's basically just jank gameplay, what you expect from jank towers. I just don't like jank towers. Okay, even if you like jank gameplay, you cannot tell me loop failing floor 1 to 3, which are like the hardest floors, is a fun experience, because it's not. And yeah, this tower is like, I think like a nerf down cadder or even horrific tower, and yeah, it's very clear that it was with the jumps that you have to do. Next up we have jtoh. Okay, yep. Next up we have jtoh. To this day, still my longest grind. Not by far, it's like 1 stream longer than jtoh, but still. Yeah, this tower is horrible to beat, like absolutely terrible, worse than YEYEYEYEYEYE, I think. But rebeating it is honestly not that bad. And I have tried rebeating YEYEYEYEYEE. Rebeating YEYEYEYEE is just as painful as trying to beat it. But yeah, jtoh rebeating it, because like floor 1 to 6 are like insane, it's not actually that bad. But yeah, I don't even know if this tower is a terrifying tower, because once I was just playing for fun and I got to floor 10, the tower is honestly kind of fun. Like, it's objectively really bad, the balancing's non-existent, and it's just really, you know. Hardest parts include fins stood against the wall. But yeah, despite how bad the tower is objectively, I have played worse towers. I mean, the creativity, once again, 0 out of 10 creativity, 0 out of 10 design. Actually, I'll give like a 2, because the gradient's kind of cool. I'd honestly give this tower like a 2 out of 10. It's not that bad. I think it's a big improvement from YEYEYEYEYE in time. Alright, next up we have tons. Honestly, this tower, like, I know the whole meme of like, oh, you have to beat tons, right? But it's honestly, this tower isn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I don't know, like when I first started this grind, I thought it was gonna be like the worst tower ever. But now, I don't know, it's not that bad. It's still bad, and it's not a tons of fun, but I didn't find it that bad when playing it. Now I did fluke floor 10, that might be part of the reasoning. Floor 10 is known as the hardest floor. I found floor 9 harder, but that could be only because I fluked floor 10. I fluked floor 10 and the final stretch. I think the worst overall part of this tower is just floors 1 to 3. They are so annoying to loop fail. I don't know why people say that the earlier floors are easier or whatever. Like, I see people calling them unironically REM. Bro, I don't know, I feel like this tower is mostly kind of balanced. The easiest flaw is like flaw 7, like it actually has no hard gameplay, but... And yeah, loop filling 2 and 3 is not fun at all. And that is like half of your time on this tower, so yeah. At least it was for me. I actually kind of like these spinners, even though they don't really make sense. Like, I hate them, but I like them at the same time. And that's how I feel like with most of the COs in this tower. Like, some of them, they're not good, but I kind of like them, I don't know why. I have a lot of controversial takes, but one of my most of all time controversial is that TOI is kind of decent. Okay, listen, I know this tower is objectively really bad. It has literally undicated traps, right? You can't see them coming. And yeah, it's got traps, quarter studs, it's punishing, really punishing. It doesn't really have a positive feature about it. However, for some reason, I just kind of like it. I don't know why. Like, there's nothing good about this tower. I do like the thingy. I do like the progression though. Like the way you go up and then after you go down. It's the first tower to do it, so yeah, I find that pretty cool. But yeah, there are some absolutely horrendous flaws in this tower, specifically flaw 3 with that thingy, tightrope power, which you have to do 3 times for some reason. It's weird, because Tower of Traps is one of my least favorite towers in the game. Actually, probably bottom 3, honestly. And this should be worse than Tower of Traps. However, for some reason, I like it more. But yeah, I can't really explain why I like this tower. There's not really a reason for me to like it. I just kind of do. And number 2 spot, we have micromanagement. This is a tower that I've raged a lot more than on most towers. I think this is actually the most I've raged on any terrifying tower ever. And it is an infuriating tower. Flaw 1 to 5, like, even though they aren't that hard, they are very loop failable. And yeah, I can't even tell you how many times I failed the final stretch. It's honestly, it is pretty sad. I think either this or TFM is the most I've failed in the final stretch. And yeah, neither of the final stretches are necessarily hard. But yeah, this tower is quite fun. The design is really good. And I like the idea of it being like small. It's the only terrifying tower to do that. Actually, only SC tower to do that. It makes it seem like it's not going to be that bad, but it's honestly still a long tower despite how small it looks. But yeah, despite this being my second favorite terrifying, I still don't like it that much. It's like a 5 out of 10. I just think the terrifying difficulty as a whole is just really bad. And number 1 is TOUA. The main thing that makes this tower better than every other terrifying, in my opinion, is because of how consistent it gets. Like, not to the point where you're not going to fail at all, but still. You get to the later flaws a lot more often. And yeah, I don't know why people always call the later flaws like, oh, it is so much harder. No, not really. I think flaw 9 and 8 are actually the 2 easiest flaws of the tower, honestly. But not by a lot, and I think the tower is pretty balanced in terms of its difficulty. Despite what people seem to think. Everyone seems to think, oh, the last 3 flaws are so hard. But not really. This is still far from a like really good tower, honestly. I'd give this like a 6. Maybe even 5.5. It's still a lot of loop failing, and because of the, you know, button progress, you're always encouraged to keep going, which it gets really annoying to do after a bit. But yeah, for a terrifying, it's really good, but honestly, for like even an SC, it's honestly kind of mid. I can name at least 3 extremes and 3 insanes, which are way better than this. I'm gonna post them on the screen right now. But yeah, still, this tower does have the funnest gameplay and the most skill-based gameplay out of every terrifying. And yeah, it is the most balanced, it's probably the most fun, and has some good design, so yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, get to 10k, and I'll do something very special. Ooh.